Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are taking an in-depth look at the Animal Crossing New Horizons tools commercial. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So just this morning, Nintendo released this brand new commercial which pretty much demonstrates how each tool can be used in New Horizons, and as always it looks absolutely amazing. There's a few little details revealed in this trailer too, so we'll go through each scene and break it down. The first scene is clearly at the beginning of the game, which I think all of these will be actually, but you can just see the player coming out of the tent and heading over to the crafting stump to craft their first tool. Other than having the tent right on the beach, which we've already seen, there's nothing too special going on here. All the furniture we can see, like the log bench and the campfire, are things that are available to craft right at the start. Once at the crafting stump, you can see they're working hard to craft the vaulting pole, which will be a pretty important tool at the start of the game. I do find it cool that there's loads of different camera angles though in these trailers, but I'm guessing that's just to make it look more like a trailer and less like a game. It's probably not something that will feature in the game, unfortunately. Next we can see yet another camera angle, funnily enough, along with the vaulting pole in action, allowing the player to jump across the river. This scene is absolutely beautiful with all the vibrant colours and the different trees. If you look closely, you can also see this island has 3 tiers, which is the first time we get a good look at them with trees on. Here the trailer is showing off the player getting the ladder out of their pockets, again clearly showing the 3-tier cliffs just behind. And you guessed it, as we move on, we can see the ladder in use as the player climbs up the cliff to the next level. This is where it gets really interesting though. If we take a closer look at the top level, we can see more cedar trees and flowers, but we can also just see a pond behind the trees there and can just make out the edge of a piece of stone crafting material. You'll see why this is important in a second. In the next scene we have another wonderful close-up of the player demonstrating the shovel digging up a dig spot. I don't think that it is a coincidence that there's a rock in this scene too. Nintendo seem to purposely place these little details that are either relatable or just to keep us guessing about things. My guess is this rock is full of bells. Next we have the actual shovel being used to dig up a fossil, and this is probably the key part of the trailer and reveals something I don't think has been confirmed before. Remember that pond and stone crafting material? Well, the player has accessed the 3rd tier using the ladder, which I'm pretty sure is the first time we've had confirmation that we'll be able to get up there. I remember the original map we saw a 3rd tier, but it was so thin most people just dismissed it and thought it was inaccessible, so seeing this player up here is really awesome, and it just makes the map that bit bigger and more intricate. Moving on, it seems it's time to craft yet another tool, but in this scene it also shows that we can not only drop tools on the ground in their actual form like other furniture items, but we can also drop them on the table as a toolbox, which is pretty neat. I'm wondering if we can choose how we drop them, and they can only be picked up by other players if they are in a toolbox, for example. Other than that, nothing really going on here. The next tool shown off in the New Horizons commercial is the watering can. Here is a nice scene of the player watering some tulips in front of the waterfall. We can also see cedar trees on both levels here, which suggests this is the 2nd and 3rd tier, which also means we could terraform the ponds on the 3rd levels and have waterfalls running down every tier, which is pretty cool. Personally, I'm super happy 3-layer towns are returning. The next tool is of course the flimsy net, which is being used to catch a hermit crab on the beach. Just like the other bugs and creatures we've seen, the shells also look pretty detailed here, which is awesome. It's also worth mentioning we can also see a scallop, I think, and some coral just there in the background. Moving on, we have a beautiful scene of heavy rain which doesn't seem to be phasing the player at all. You'll notice the sky is very dark and even the trees start disappearing in the background at a closer distance than they usually do, which I think really helps create a damp and stormy atmosphere. Although probably the coolest thing revealed here is the little snail perched on top of the rock. I'm guessing these guys only come out when it's raining, or maybe just after. By the next scene the weather has cleared and the player is demonstrating the fishing rod doing a bit of sea fishing. The obvious detail here is the large red snapper which has just been caught. However, if you look closely behind the player there's also a little bag of fishing bait, I'm guessing just on the floor. I'm assuming they've just used the bait in order to attract the red snapper, because typically red snappers are rare and often only appear when it's raining, which gives me so much nostalgia for the GameCube version, spending every rainy day trying to catch as many snappers as I could. Good times. Here we have either a very early morning scene or a late evening scene, which looks gorgeous either way. It doesn't really reveal anything, but does show the player's shocked face when they miss the tree with the axe. As we near the end of the commercial, we see another tool that was recently revealed during the direct, which is the ocarina. Here you can see the player standing at the back of the map on some rocks playing the ocarina. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this tool is yet, maybe it's just for fun, but I'm sure there's a secret or two surrounding this item. If nothing else, it makes for a good photo. And the second from last scene shows you can use the shovel to dig up tree stumps too once they've been chopped down. I'm guessing by the wood craft material on the floor, we can only hit trees so many times to get craft materials before they break, at which point you're left with a stump in the ground just like in previous games. Which also means we might have to be regularly planting new trees to keep our supplies up. Anyway, the commercial wraps up with a nice little outro, pretty much summing up the entire trailer with the player crafting something and some tools placed on the beach in the background, which is pretty nice. So yeah, all in all, a very short trailer, but it does reveal a few new details which was awesome, like being able to access every tier on the map, as well as the adorable ocarina. What do you think the ocarina is used for? Let us know in the comments, and let's see who guesses correctly. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any New Horizons news. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters, you guys rock. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too, and of course, if you got this far in the video, please comment Ocarina, just to let me know you did. That would be super awesome, and please be sure to include which tool is your favourite, and which you will try and craft first. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.